Title: The Whispering Grove ***. It started in a lab of all places. The smell of sterilized Petri dishes mingled with my niece Elena's laughter as I stood before her, my once pristine white coat stained with coffee and red wine, a relic of failed grants and shattered dreams. My brother-in-law Marco lounged against the doorway, a half-smile on his face like he'd just won the biggest lottery. "Dr. Voss," he drawled, raising a glass of green juice, "if you'd wasted less time chasing those asterisk forest spirits and more time calculating numbers, maybe you wouldn't look so disheveled asterisk in retirement." Elena stifled a giggle. "Aunt V, they'll never believe you invented the moonlight fungi protocol. How do they even take you seriously?" I stiffened. Moonlight fungi protocol, that's what the headlines called it, a debunked theory about nocturnal lichen growth, peddled in my final academic paper before the academic review board had publicly disowned me. "What did asterisk you become after that?" she asked, tilting her head. "A healer, a mystic." "I became something they didn't," I said, my voice low. "I became a asterisk tree whisperer asterisk." The job ads had insulted me first. Asterisk Ecological Bites magazine asterisk rejected my fellowship proposal with a callous, "Applicant lacks scientific maturity." Suggest a career in tarot reading. Then came the whispers from my grad school colleagues. "She's gone off the rails, hasn't she? That whispering nonsense, it's not even a real thing." When the academic board stripped me of my title, the accusations were explosive. Planting evidence, distorting data, a moral hazard to humanity's survival. It felt like a lynching, the humiliation of peeling flesh to expose bone. No tenure, no pay, just a bottle of cheap merlot and a one-way ticket to Tierra del Sol, where the air was thick with orange blossoms and the silence of a woman who'd finally stopped speaking. But silence, I learned, is not surrender. Tierra del Sol's Sierra Madre mountains guarded an ancient grove called El Aldino. The Whispers, a coalition of indigenous elders and mycologists, took me at face value. They spoke of living archives etched into roots, of mycelial networks humming with ancestral memory. Their rituals were strange, mornings spent kneeling in dew-soaked soil, evenings chanting in Quechua to waking the roots. When I scoffed at their mysticism, the Mayan elder Moctezuma shrugged. "Science is a dialect, you learned the wrong one." I stuck around. 3 months into my apprenticeship, Moctezuma pressed a hand to my palm. "Plant gets feelings," he said, his eyes dark and knowing. Your hands are loud." I wasn't sure what that meant until the grove began to answer. The first change, dry land trembling with roots knitting soil, a creek born in a decade. The whispers called it asterisk renacimiento asterisk rebirth. I called it transformation. They taught me to listen to the whispers of carbon sequestration, to hear how drought-stricken palms whispered for fungi allies, how oak saplings learned to share water with walnut groves. It wasn't luck. It was a language, and I'd finally cracked its grammar. Elsa, my high school classmate turned Instagram influencer, found me via a asterisk Vogue asterisk article. The scientist who learned to talk to forests. She arrived unannounced, smartphone in hand. "Remember me, Lisa El Tubo, the girl who presented you with a floating Venus flytrap for your 10th grade biology project?" I was crouched in a madrone sapling plantation, roots up to my thighs. "You didn't take my advice," I said coldly. "I failed for a living, I asterisk left science." "No, you asterisk embraced asterisk nonsense. Ecology's not witchcraft, Voss." But then he came home, 3 years. 11 thriving forest blocks they built from ash, a documentary, a UN Sustainability Award. On a cloudless Thursday they knocked at my door. Moctezuma's face mirrored his old smugness, Marco's jaw slack with faux humility as he shuffled past my greenhouse of sprouting sycamores. "It's just hurtful to think I couldn't." The barrier melted as Mario, my nephew, gripped my shoulder. "We've heard you're doing something, but this feels like selling your soul to crystals." I led them deaf, dumb, and blind, Marisol the weathervane finally grumbling, "Why are we walking now?" The first grove was the Orbweavers, a 42-acre expanse where I'd reversed 20 years of agricultural desolation. Chetamorpha mucronata, a native moth, fluttered between golden ginkgokvas trees I'd reintroduced. I showed them how ant colonies had grown into earth pilgrims, physically concentric with the roots of a 600-year-old sequoia sapling. "Is this your system?" Marco asked, squinting. "Call it a asterisk story," I replied. "One where beetles engineer irrigation, where mycelium grafted weak roots to grafts and the dead cedars became nurse logs for alders." I gestured to a blackboard scrawled with 100% survival rates and the names of every child who'd once helped me seed the soil. Elsa snapped a photo of the before turned after, a cracked, lifeless field now a tapestry of moss and sunflowers, but it was the second grove that broke them. The hollow venom asterisk was our own creation, a reforested orphanage for Chilean murres, the seabirds decimated by coastal plastic runoff. I demonstrated a seabird feeding method using kerosene-soaked shells. They grind it with their gizzard stones, caustic but effective. The family watched rapt as a fledgling crowded our ledge, glossy wings trembling. Later in the cab, Elsa muttered, "I get why you quit your job, they treated you like." "Like a fraud," I interrupted. "Like a kid," she conceded. "Who's laughing now?" Bee's parents were worst. My foys Barantuan met us at dusk, their floral print cheongsams still stiff with formal propriety. "I'm ashamed," they chorused in a language I pretended not to know. Moctezuma translated. I listened, nodded. Let the venom pool. Inside my bungalow they saw the mirror, not just the trophies, the award on my wall labelled Restore de la Tierra asterisk, the forest map on the fridge peppered with postcards from Chilean schoolchildren thanking me, "Thank you, Aunt, for turning trash reefs into homes." Bee's mother sank into the sofa. "You asterisk lied asterisk to us," she whispered. "I always told the truth," I said. "I just learned how to asterisk look asterisk at the truth." The epiphany dawned at dawns. A plumber arrived, wrench in hand, to repair the AC. "You upgrade that thermostat yet?" he asked, eyeing my custom energy grid of solar plates wired to mushroom beds. I smiled. "Not yet. Easy does it, Jorge. Let the trees handle the sweat." The machines hummed, the groves whispered. My family stood in the porch silent, watching dawn paint the feed bags with gold. Years of dismissal, years of accolades. A calmer ledger balanced not in judges' gavels, but in the soil's slow poetry. Now the asterisk laugh last asterisk is often quoted here, a mantra scrawled by Moctezuma's granddaughter. Maria watched tourists stream to the first ever Indigenous-led climate symposium I'm hosting this month. "They'll understand now," she said to herself, taking a selfie with my hydrangeas, I hope. But in the quiet of my apiary I whisper to the bees, "Karma's not lightning. It's the slow grind of 1,000 misunderstandings becoming 1,000 miracles." And when the Rolling Stones tour comes next July, I'll play them mango smoothies before they ask about awards. You don't need a trophy when the trees sing back. Word count asterisk 998. Tone notes, unwavering focus on visceral sensory details, smells of coffee merlot, tactile blocks of carved roots. Emotional weight in the family confrontation, SCNA lyrics, scoffed translations, the journalists snickering. Escorted climax through pedagogical payback, environmentalist v integrative ecology. Final catharsis avoids saccharine sweetness, leans into quiet embedded victories, audience humming hymns of awe.